Hello! Let me turn the music off.
Music.
Yeah, I decided to put on some funkier stuff tonight. Sorry about the music not being on earlier. I absolutely know I switched it properly and it didn't work, so thanks, Robin.
Yeah. Steph was there just grooving away all by herself.
And I guess
No,
I didn't understand Jill's like hand signals, and then I saw Steph's not paying attention and I'm like, huh? Oh. Would it be a Tuesday night stream if I didn't have some kind of audio problem?
that's true. That's true. Steph, I forgot to pull up a couple of things. If you want to get the greetings out of the way here, I can get my act together since
Okay.
I'm
Oh
apparently
my
not
goodness,
together.
we got lots of friends here today. Robin is here, of course, and LJ. Hello. Janet. Oh my gosh, the fun continues with your renovations. But you must be getting close to the end if you're unboxing. Well, no, probably not. If my sewing room was ready, I'd be unboxing quilt books before the renovation was done. But and Alicia's here! Yay! Fantastic.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I've got all this
So
stuff.
gosh, tonight we have a new, I'm assuming one of the things you're pulling up is our new calendar.
Correct.
Tomorrow's October. What the actual heck?
Yeah, I was even just like, wow, like 2025 is almost over.
Hey,
That's
Marianne.
pretty crazy too.
Oh, I know. You know, I was trying to remember something. It was actually the cat going to the vet. And yeah, and I'm trying to remember. We ended up having to take him to the emergency vet on New Year's Eve. And I don't remember if it was just this past New Year's Eve or was it like, you know, getting ready to be 2 years ago. I don't remember. It's crazy.
That is really crazy. Okay. I think I finally have my crap together here.
Alicia says it's too warm for it to be October. But you know, and you're in a kind of a different part of Virginia than where I grew up, but growing up in Virginia, like Halloween is kind of my benchmark for fall. Sometimes Halloween would be like 70 degrees and pouring rain. And sometimes it would be first frost was weeks ago and it's freezing cold, and thank goodness my mom made me a warm costume. And then when I was in high school, I'd be wearing the sexy kitten type costumes and I'm like freezing to death.
I want pictures of that. We should have a stream like pictures that could be used as blackmail.
Well, I feel it. Haven't you guys seen the pictures of me? I used to work in a costume shop when I was in high school. I actually have one of them right here.
I don't know that
I'm pretty
showed
sure
those
you
on
guys have
screen,
seen this.
you know?
Maybe I showed it on my.
I think maybe we've seen that, but that's far from sexy kitten.
Well, I mean,
Are you a flapper in that dress?
yeah. I think I have a Carmen Miranda somewhere, but
Yeah, I want to see more. I'm sure I could find embarrassing photos of myself too. I'm not saying it only has to be you. All right, we have a lot to do. What do I want to that? Okay. And boom. Okay. So, getting ready for October. We had a nice, easy, September, and now there's a lot of red.
well, that's why the month went by so fast. It was a nice and easy September.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm feeling the crunch now because there's so much stuff to get done. Oh my goodness. So Steph and I mentioned on our Stitch and Glitch that we've made the executive decision to push the start of our next book back into November because we have another trip the very beginning of November, and we figured it would probably be better to not have breaks in the book. Plus, there's always a backlog of things to look at
Yeah.
for everybody. And then after November, we don't have any, at least at this moment, any pressing travel to do. So
Knocking
we're going
on
to do
wood.
that. Yeah, so other than a pre-recorded video on the 14th, because we will be at seminar, we'll be doing, exhibits and things that are happening and who knows and all the things. there is potential that we could just show up on a live stream while we're at seminar, if time allows, if we have the wherewithal. Part of me wants to do one just so people can see how much we walk around like zombies, because there's just so much going on. So yeah, we might try. So if you do get a notification, it's real. And it just means that we were just like, hey, we have however long to sit here. We're going to go. Now, that being said, it could happen on YouTube. It could happen on Instagram. It really like depends where we are, what equipment we have, and stuff like that. Regardless, we'll get content. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Probably these 2 streams after seminar will probably be just for stuff about that. So yeah. Also, on our last Stitch and Glitch, we asked how you guys felt about doing one on a Sunday. I know technically these Saturdays look free. They're just too busy. There's other things going on. And we didn't want to go the whole month without at least one if we could help it. So we're going to do one on Saturday the 26th. Same time. Sunday.
It'll be the Halloween edition. And
So
of
are you
course,
guys
because I'm the holder of the link, don't forget to get your book, A Stitch in Time,
Yeah.
if you're interested in reading along with us.
I was going to say that was my next thing here. I'm actually, there's part of me that's like kind of bummed that we're pushing it back just because I'm really like want to start it. But, you know, we can really dive into it then if we wait till after our trip to New York City in November, which we will also grab all kinds of content for. And who knows, maybe that's probably how we'll finish out the year once we're done with this book, stream-wise, is stuff about our trip. So, that being said,
you know, if you're on the fence about reading this book with us, let me just real quick show you. I mean, look at these. There's a beautiful quilt. That's just one. There's all kinds of really beautiful needlework in here. So, not just
the
quilts.
photos are fantastic. They're some of the best photos I've seen in books, and they're big. They're not like, remember how, I don't remember what book it was, but some book we were reading and we were talking about how like we were like, we need magnifying glasses to really see the detail on some of this stuff. Anywho, on to the next thing. I went to Nantucket with the New England Quilt Study Group, which is, it's not technically an affiliated group to New England Quilt Study Group, like legally, tax-wise, you know, all that stuff. But these regional groups, there's a Mid-Atlantic group, there's an Arizona Quilt Study Group, there's a Midwest Fabric Study, there's multiple regional groups, and they do tend to feed into New American Quilt Study Group, whether financially, like, you know, they give money to the events. They often feed members into it. However, I will say you don't have to be a member of one or the other to be members of one or the other. So this past year, myself and Vanessa Rico from New England Quilt Museum and Laura Lane from New England Quilt Museum, we revived the New England Quilt Study Group after being dormant for a couple of years because the previous gals that were planning everything and running everything, they got busy and they needed to pass the torch. So they did. And Nantucket this year was one of our last minute adventures. Wasn't on the official list of things to do, but we found out that there was an exhibit called Beyond the Seams, and it was kind of just like, hey, do we want to try to get a group last minute to go? And people were like, let's do it, and we did. I've never been to Nantucket. Have you?
Mm-mm. No, too rich for my blood.
Oh.
We discussed that on a Stitch and Glitch a while back, and yeah, I'm fairly certain, and not to disparage Nantucket, I'm fairly certain that the prices, including the ferry out there, is to keep the riffraff like me off the island.
The ferry was very expensive. We went there here to the Whaling Museum. This whole like area here is called like the downtown, and it's very cute and quaint and very stereotypical, you know, Cape Cod, you know, little town. I didn't get to some of these other places because one thing was some of these were closed because we're at the end of the season, and we purposely went at the end of the season. Um, but also my biggest complaint was that like all of the sidewalks and the roads are, a lot of them are original, they're cobblestone
Mm-hmm.
and brick and stuff like that, and they're insanely uneven. And I don't mean like just a little bit, I mean like these like drastic, like I was like,
Wow.
how are people not just like keeling over every other step?
It's a
um
trap.
yeah, it was for being like in a downtown, urban little area, it was very rough walking.
Wow,
we
that's
were
interesting.
we were hurting units by the time we got back to the boat. And I was like, wow, all this money, and you guys can't, like, you
Yeah,
don't have to get
that's
rid of the old stuff, but just make it level.
yeah, that's
Like,
that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, it's kind of like a wealthy area, and they things are cost a lot there. I mean, I live in a historic area, and we have a little historical society, like not really historical society, but like a little, I don't know, chamber of commerce kind of like group, and they
mhm.
raised money to get our sidewalks redone, and it's they're not it's it's not actual old stuff, but it looks old, and they did a nice job.
Yeah, even last year in front of the New England Quilt Museum, they're right in downtown Lowell, next to the big mills, and two roads on two sides are cobblestone, original cobblestone. And so, like, historically, it's protected. They can't remove it. They can, and they did last year for one of them, relayed it
Hmm.
because it was getting really. They were supposed to do the other side too, and I don't know why they haven't yet, but I don't
Yeah.
know that it's really any better.
Well,
But
Baltimore's also full of cobblestone, and yeah, it's I'm sure it's a big undertaking to deal with cobblestone, but
oh yeah, it took
yeah.
them quite so that road was closed for quite some time. But anyhow, so this was a cute little map. There's lots of great little historical stuff. You could walk to all of this. These roads are very short. Um, I highly recommended little day trip. It was delightful. Go towards the end of the season when things aren't as crazy. And don't plan on spending a lot of money when you get there, or plan on spending a lot of money when you get there. We walked into this little fiber arts shop that was also a clothing store, and it was like needlepoint stuff and then clothing. And I looked at, like, I just like grabbed something off the rack. It was just like this tiny little sundress, like a short one. It was like $450 for no reason. Like, no reason at all. Just because the day ended in Y. All right, anywho. It was we had a really gorgeous day. I don't have any sound on this video because you don't want it, okay? It's not nice things. Also, I just want you to know I'm inside and the window is dirty and there's nothing I can do about it. But it's just a nice little harbor view.
Oh,
We saw
little cabin cruiser,
lots of big yachts and
little
sailboats
sailboat.
and things like that. It was a nice the ferry ride on the high speed is an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looks like that ferry's moving pretty fast.
Yeah. It was a much smaller ferry though than when we went to Block Island.
Oh, okay.
But okay. So there's that. There'll be another little video towards the end. Oh, and here's another one. This is
Oh yeah.
outside the Whaling Museum. We were just waiting to go in, and this is the Whaling Museum right there. But I
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
like, this is such a cute. Here, I'll play it again just because it's fast. Such a cute little quaint. But yeah, all this brick,
Mm-hmm.
all the sidewalks pretty much are like that.
Yeah,
This
and
one's fine, but other
mm-hmm.
sidewalks, it's like one step is like this and one step is up here, and like it was crazy.
Yeah, it's probably the trees that are the issue because their roots are popping the. But yeah, they took care of all that in my little town, and we certainly do not have the per capita income that they do on
Mm.
Nantucket.
Yep, it was. We were hoping to take like a little bus ride around the island, but when we talked, there's a free bus service on there. But when we talked to them, like, hey, can we just kind of get on a bus and knock it off? They did not understand that concept. They were like, we are not a tour bus. Okay.
Alrighty then.
So we didn't end up doing that. I know some other, like, we split up after we did the museum, so people went different places. So this is Beyond the Seams, and we did have like an exhibit tour guide. It wasn't in depth or anything like that. And then because of that, I didn't take most of these photos. My partner did. So I know you're used to my methodological way of taking photos.
I can't wait to
He
see
took,
what he did.
he took them in a different way. Well, it's mostly there's not everything has a placard.
Okay.
So we're just going to do our best here. Um, I have to apparently I didn't end up with a full picture of this quilt. I know somebody's got it. So when I'm able to get one, I'll show you. It's a whole cloth. It's just this fabric. But what I took a picture of here is the tape binding.
Oh yeah, it's
That was
stripey.
really cool. Yeah, and I love, like, I was so bummed that we like couldn't touch this. I also really love the backing. But yeah, that
Yeah.
tape binding, I was just like, oh my God, that's really cool.
I'm I don't want to get us into a deep discussion because I'm sure there's lots of pictures to look at, but I'm really curious, like, how is this printed? This, like, how is
This is
this
one
fab?
that
How?
I don't have this is one I don't have a placard for, but I'm sure one of the other people do. So put a pin in that, and we
Okay.
can certainly make a comment about it at another time. So this was all kinds of textiles. It's not just quilts.
Oh,
And
you know I
we've
love
got,
the costumes. I love the costumes too. Or
well,
it's
we've
clothing,
got,
but
yeah, a man's shirt here, but like the best thing about it, look at his little initials.
oh, and
Right on his
that's on
little
the side,
hippie.
right?
Yeah, it's on his hip.
Yeah. And
That's what I was just like,
from a clothing construction perspective, look at that little slit. How there's like a little triangle there that's like yeah, there's like a little triangle there that keeps it from, because of the way they slit the cloth, it keeps it from like ripping and unraveling there.
oh,
That's what that is. Yeah.
oh, well, thanks, because I don't know. I don't know. This was in the case below it. This was about all this fancy needlework around the edge here. 1860.
Wow. Is that like wool? Is that like
Yep.
a blanket or a shawl or
Whoop.
something?
Sorry. I think it's just meant to be a blanket. But yeah, all that fancy needlework on the end. Can you just imagine doing this stitch along the edge?
Yeah,
Like,
and
just
I'm not
for the
sure
rest
like
of your life.
and I'm not sure if how they did that. I suspect that might be cut work. So like it's actually stitched first then cut. Possibly. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh, of
also,
course it.
I also am going to tell you that I'm not showing all of the photos because it runs a whole big span, even into modern stuff. So
Gotcha.
we're just going to go mostly through the things that would probably interest us the most in this moment. But we could certainly come back to this, maybe on that Sunday Stitch and Glitch or something, and look
Sure.
through our stuff. But corset. But what's interesting about the corset was they had examples
Ah, the innards.
of the innards. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So those are steel boning, I'm assuming. Is that steel boning?
Well, this one up here, I'm assuming, is whale stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, we're dealing with whales. But I don't know, this could be whale stuff too.
Yeah, well, I realize that this is a whaling museum, so it does make a whole lot of sense that some of this stuff was whale. But I don't know. They used baleen,
Mm-hmm.
but I always thought it was a lighter color, like a tan or a buff, or I'm not sure.
I don't remember now. That is the problem with having a person give a tour and we can't record it,
Yeah.
because I don't remember now. That's why I was like, this is not going to be the same way as when I'm normally doing exhibit stuff.
Gosh
Mm-hmm.
darn it, Sunday. We have to teach him how to take pictures.
I didn't know he was going to until the end. I was going to like go back through it. He's like, oh no, I already took a bunch of photos. And I was like, oh. Oh, Janet just says Baleen does get dark with age. And then she said that is Baleen on the top of the pic. Yeah, I knew that part.
Okay. Yeah. But the
if
fact
I
that those are
remember,
black, it almost seems like that's steel. That's spring steel to me. Like I think, but
your guess is as good as mine at the moment. I was half of me was like, I hope one of the girls is going to show up in the comments and be like, oh, I remember they said this, but there's only so much that we can hope for. You know what I mean here?
yeah. So is this a skirt or an apron?
I believe it's a skirt because you see the back right here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is
And then
interesting.
there was a brief period that they were trying to grow like some silk and stuff on the island.
Mm.
And that's why we have the
Yeah.
American Silk Growers Guide.
Yeah, it never worked. Apparently the silkworms do not like the climate in any part of the United States.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
This is a Chinese fan that um I just thought was like stunning because it's of these peacock feathers in here.
Yeah, and so that's all feather. All the way down,
Yeah, it's
isn't
painted.
it?
Yeah. Painted
Yeah.
feather.
Oh, wow. And it seems like the peacock, the eye is maybe layered on top of another type of feather or um
Maybe.
Hey, Knit and Crochet, it is good to see you.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, so to me, so like okay, the that peacock plumage,
Mm-hmm.
you got the eye at the very end, and then the plumes are they're loose. They're sort of airy and loose on so I'm wondering if those are somehow cut and then that's because that's a denser feather. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Maybe.
I've never
Yeah,
I've
I
never
see what
seen
you
anything
mean.
like that. Yeah, I've never seen
No,
anything like that.
it was. This one has a placard.
Ah, all right.
I can tell you, it's eating away at my soul. So, Chinese fan, mid-19th century, wood, feathers, paint. Fashion accessories like fans were common export items that allowed consumers to follow trends and add to their wardrobes without the need for fitting. This popular style of brisé fan, is that brisé?
Yeah, that's I guess I've never heard that term, but that's what I would
Made
guess.
with goose feathers, tipped with peacock eye feathers, and painted with floral motifs. Yeah, because I would think the peacock feathers, they'd be too fine to try to paint.
Mm-hmm.
You'd need something that's thicker.
Oh yeah, that's like the thing because the feathers along the spine, and I can't remember what that is called, like that piece of the feather, but they're sort of they're thinner and wavier. They're not dense, and so yeah, that's goose feathers, and I would imagine that they've clipped it down, and so that spine thing in the center is hollow, and then they could just stick the peacock feather down in there.
These were exported in large quantities from China in the mid-19th century. The Nantucket Historical Association, which is owns these museums, the collection holds several examples.
That's so interesting. I've never seen anything like that, and I mean, it makes sense that these ships are not just whaling, right? Like some of them were import-export situations too.
Well, and a number of people that went on this trip were also with the group when we went to Block Island
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year. And through that exhibit that Jana Dionis put together, which is fabulous, we found out, that the ships, like you said, are often holding a large variety of things, including like often fabric. Even on ships you wouldn't think that you'd ever want to look at their manifest, they often have fabric, which also harkens back to when we were reading earlier this year the Dress Diary.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were living abroad in Singapore, and talking about the boats coming in. I gotta tell you, like, I have goosebumps right now when we can like make all these like little connections to things all the time. Anyhow,
it's exciting of all the things that we read and looked at, how we can do that now. I feel a lot smarter. Good job us.
Well, that and they seem to like the universe knows, and like they seem to like touch us at the same time, like close in time, because like we read the Dress Diary. That was our first book of the year, wasn't it?
Was it the first? No, it wasn't the first book of the year. I want to say it
I
was
thought it
late
I thought it
spring
was.
that we were reading that.
Was it
I don't
not?
know. Time
I
has
think
been so
I
weird this
kind of
year.
feel like it. I feel like it
Maybe it
was. But
was.
anyways,
Maybe it was.
we went to Block Island in May,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just went to Nantucket here the 14th or something like that of this month. So, yeah. Okay. Anywho, so there's two samplers on this wall, that are just lovely and cute, like these little birdies. This one was
Oh, these
not
little
made by
tiny
a
birds.
fetus.
It was made by an actual like a woman-sized person and not a baby with a needle and thread.
But it was 1808. So
That's pretty old.
Yeah, this is a pretty early sampler. And Friends School kept by Lydia Gardner, Nantucket. So
Very cool.
there's another one,
Ooh.
very different,
Very
design.
alphabetical.
And this one, say how old she is?
Is it down there at the bottom under her name? Is it Hannah Coffin?
I see 12th like month 23rd day, so December 23rd, 1805
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't understand
Well,
what
let's
this
find out. I do have a placard.
You do a placard. Yay!
Yeah, so
Oh, and it's Quaker. Okay.
Let's see here.
Oh no, the top one was Quaker. Was that the other one, that the first one we looked at?
Marking Sandler. Yeah, that was the top one, and this
Okay.
is the black one. So we just know she was born in 1795, and she made it in 1805, so she was 10. So still not a fetus. She's an old lady.
Well, and
compared
that's a pretty simple one. I mean, I could see, these 10-year-olds that are getting ready for their factory work.
Yeah. Apparently there was, a lot of Quakers on the island. We're going to see some Quaker clothes in a minute here. But one of the major reasons that I wanted to make sure to get a photo of these, not that they're, there was a big focus on them or anything like that, but I wanted to highlight something that the museum did that I have seen in some other museums that I think is going to be really important moving forward. And that is this. And it takes me a minute to figure out how the hell to use it.
Is it a touchscreen sort of thing, or?
It is, but like, see the arrows, right? You think you like touch the arrows. No, you got to swipe the book.
I see. Okay.
And so sometimes the arrows work, sometimes they don't, so I have to keep swiping. And it's not that we're going to see anything particularly close up because it's too bright to get it.
Yeah.
But they scanned the whole like lesson. It's like lessons.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're basically able to page through the book that is on display.
Yeah, the whole thing, because they scanned the whole thing. And I was like, that is really cool. And we need to be having a lot more of that.
That's really cool. And
yeah,
what type of book was that?
It was like a like sewing instruction and
okay, so like from a school or some type of program, like
yeah. Look, so this didn't one of these say there was a school friends school? It was like some school on the island that had this book that was like, it had like sewing and like it had like some needlework stuff in it and stitches and all different kinds of things. And obviously they didn't have the book there, like you couldn't see it at all.
Oh, but, okay, so it wasn't on display. You could just flip through it.
No, it was only through that thing. But I was like, what a great way.
Yeah, and that's something I think of some of the really big museums, like over the years. And it's funny. It's like the Children's Museum started with it. And, it's been several decades now that the Children's Museums have had a lot of that stuff. And then I guess it occurred to people that, like, well, adults like these things too.
Mhm.
But I see this. Do you see this as a trend? Like, the V&A now has that warehouse basically that you can go
Open
and
storage.
yeah, and then all of these museums that have got open storage now. I mean, New England has open storage, right? Some?
No.
No? Oh, I thought you guys did. Well, we've seen it at Chester. We've seen it at the Chester County.
Are
We've
you
seen it.
thinking of those drawers
Mm-hmm.
that are in that exhibit? That's not open storage. They change those out for exhibits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I always just thought of that as open storage. Yeah.
No, it's usually well, technically I guess it's so they can show some things that are more delicate that can't hang, but I think sometimes it's just one more place to put a quilt that, because there's only so much hanging room in that room.
Gotcha. Robin has confirmed that yes, the Dress Diary was the first book of the year. I'm sorry that my brain is not able to wrap this. And now that you say that, wasn't a bunch of us ended up getting the book for Christmas? I think a couple people had said, you know what, I'm going to put it on my Christmas list so that we can start reading it in the new year.
Maybe.
I think that, yeah.
Well, and speaking of that, like just to put it a little aside in here, because A Stitch in Time is going to be our last book. If you guys have recommendations, I know LJ that you had recommended a book to for this upcoming one, and then I lost the paper I wrote it on. So like, if you want to put it in the pot again for next year, like please do. I wasn't trying to ignore your last recommendation. I had just like came across The Stitch in Time while I was cleaning and was like, ooh. I did also, that I showed Stephanie the other day, I did also come across another one in the antique store that I had set up my booth at, and took a picture of it and was like, this looks interesting, and Stephanie agreed, and she doesn't have it either. So yeah. I was like, ooh. Anywho, okay, so this was interesting. So there was this long case that had all these sewing tools and things in it. Me, gotta look at the sewing tools.
Oh, same.
I have to tell you, I was a little annoyed because some things were not labeled correctly.
Oh, that's right. I think I remember you telling me that.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things. I think it's always good to keep in mind that museums are not perfect.
Sure.
And
yeah,
they can't be experts in everything unless you're the V&A.
And particularly a small museum. I mean, smaller museums, you kind of want to cut them some slack because they may not have, textiles. They might have a textile expert, but that person may not be like, a quilt expert. We talked about this the other day.
Well, so. I will say this whaling museum, for one, is much larger than I thought it was. Okay. But number two, it is well staffed.
Oh, really?
Okay. Like 10 museum people working that day. It was
what, like nuts. Docents or actual employees?
Well, if they were actual employees.
Okay.
Other museum professionals I didn't see, and there was also a celebrity in the room that I didn't see, but one of our girls was in line behind him at the front desk when she was looking for the bathroom, and then he was on a late night talk show like last night or something, and she sent a clip of it, and she was like, I was standing behind him in line. They're talking about Nantucket. I can try to pull it. Yeah.
You don't remember who it was though?
I forget his name. She knows his name. I know the actor, like I know who, like I recognize the face. I just didn't recognize his name.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, and she didn't really she didn't know it either at the time. She was just like, wow, why does this person look so familiar?
And then she sees him on a late night show.
Uh-huh. Well, you know what's really funny is on the ride over, she is telling me and Vanessa, she's like, do you see that guy over there on the boat? And we're like, yeah. And it's just like some like unsuspecting old guy. Like, and she was like, I'm not going to get this totally right. But she said something like, he's the sports writer for some newspaper.
Oh.
And we were teasing her because I was just like, oh man, who cares? Like, and then we were teasing her like, you should go over there and say hi. Like you should. And then we were gonna like, you're staring at him. Stop And what's funny is on the way back, we took different ferries. She took a 6 o'clock ferry. Myself and Vanessa, we took a 3 o'clock ferry, and he was on our boat back, sitting like next to Vanessa. So I have a photo of Vanessa being like, and he's like right here in the background, and we sent it to her.
Wonder
Yeah,
if he went to the Whaling Museum too. And
I guess that was the only thing to do that day. But yeah, so anywho, so we have a little like cutie sewing kit here. And actually, I didn't notice this little star so well. That almost kind of looks like tartanware, but not 100%.
oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Now, what is this drawing stuff like? What is all that? I'm having a hard time.
It looks like calligraphy kind of practice.
Oh, okay.
Like stylized. Actually, this is the kind of lettering you'd see on illuminated manuscripts.
Okay, so they are. It is like they're letters. I
Yep.
couldn't quite
Yep.
see. Okay.
My guess is it technically doesn't really have a whole lot to do with this sewing kit, but someone probably stored it in their sewing kit kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we got a little pinball.
Look at these
here.
treasures. Ah.
This is this is a shaker type sewing kit here. So
That's a
okay,
Mocklin.
yeah, the things that pissed me off.
Uh-oh.
So it's funny. This friend of ours on the ride over, I am talking to her. She's talking to me about my new antique booth. And I'm talking to her about the fact that like people are going crazy over Mocklin. And she was like, oh my God, what's that? So I'm describing it to her. And, there's only so much you can describe without showing someone.
Mhm.
So we get to Nantucket and I'm like, oh my God, come here, look. This is Mocklin. So, the girl that was with us, she's, I don't know, she's probably 21 maybe. They did not have this labeled as Mocklin,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
which bugged me because I was like, this, I feel like you should know what that is, at least generically. They also called it a pin cushion, and it's a pin keep, and there is like a difference. Anywho, but what's really cool, I couldn't get a picture good enough that we can really see because of the glare, but
Mhm.
this is a Nantucket house.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to
On
ask, is that some sort of building in Nantucket?
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool. And also like having this shield shape isn't like super common.
Yeah, the shield ones are cool though. I've seen a few
Mhm.
of those, and they're just, for whatever reason, it's kind of, they seems random, but they're kind of cool. So, oh, also
And then
LJ mentioned maybe it was Bob Costas.
Are you trolling me or is that true? I don't know.
Bob
I
Costas
forget
is
what
a
name.
sports guy.
I forget what name she said because if I'm honest with you, I couldn't care less. um, but and also I'm just like, why do we care about a sports writer? Like, all right. But yeah, we just kept teasing her like go say hi to him. I'm like, you're stalking a sports writer. Like
It's funny. Beside that acorn is it's measuring tape, isn't it? I have one that looks just like that.
maybe, but
And
they
they're
don't have it turned.
yeah, the acorn, and then the thing beside it, it has like a little stick on the top that's for
Yeah,
winding.
yeah.
Yeah, those are carved out of that nut, whatever that nut is.
Tagawa nut, vegetable
Hmm.
ivory.
Yep.
Yeah, so they were claiming, so one they did not, they had one of these labeled as vegetable ivory but not the other one. And they don't mention, I don't think they mentioned Tagawa nut, but then they're claiming this top to be ivory, and I'm not really sold on that.
Hmm.
um And then let's see, this is just like a Victorian pin keep here. With this probably opens to be a little needle book as well. And then you put pins on the side here. Thread winder. This is to hold threads. You'd see
Yeah,
if I
with the
trying to think what
channels.
else. Yeah, what else was I? Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we do very clearly have a tape measure here.
Mm-hmm.
And this also has a Stanhope in the top, I believe.
Oh,
And
okay.
You know, when you can see through the little
Yeah,
hole,
the
you have
little.
to squint like crazy and look at light, and there's usually like an etching in there that
Hmm.
shows some kind of scene.
Yeah,
It's bananas
that's my unicorn. Been looking for one of
having a
those.
Stanhope.
Yeah, and I know that they're I mean they're fairly common. I mean they're not something that's like extremely rare, but I
Well, they're
haven't.
rare. They're rare in the sense that they often come out now. They fall out.
Yes, yes. I think I have a piece that may have once had one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't your umbrella, isn't one of your umbrella needle cases, didn't that have a
possibly.
hole for a
Yeah,
Stanhope?
possibly. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, and it is those umbrella that often have them. The umbrellas.
Well, that and I actually have a piece in my antique booth right now that's a vegetable ivory like this, and it's a tape measure that has a Stanhope in it.
Hmm.
Tell your mom when you stop there on your way to seminar. The Stanhope's still in there, and I tried like hell and did finally see it. You have to hold it up to like the brightest light on the planet when you're like going like in the thing to see it.
That clamp at the
Um,
bottom is very cool.
yeah, yeah, clamp here. And let's see, is that the only? Oh, and then here's another like instruction book kind of thing with an example of doing some purdy work.
Oh, pretty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I wonder what that book is. Is it like Weldon's or?
Let's see.
Oh yeah, you might be able to see it at the top of the book.
Godey's.
Oh, it's Godey's.
Godey's later book, yeah.
That's exciting. We know Godey's.
Um, and then we've got some tatting. I like this tatting shuttle. This is cool.
Oh yeah, is it like inlaid or something?
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then some tatting work on the edge of this hanky here. And then we've got some knitting needles and
A
a
baby
little
cap.
baby bonnet.
Now that those tatting shuttles and looks like maybe one of those knitting needles there. Are those potentially ivory?
Yeah, I guess they could be.
I mean, I just sense in a whaling place that you're gonna have things like that, whereas in elsewhere they may not have had those things or kept those things there.
Yeah, they could. I mean, this could be too.
I'll
I don't
be honest.
remember.
I probably, if you handed me a piece of ivory, something, I probably would not know the difference between that and bone or, whatever else.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think like what would be the most obvious. Well, I guess the most obvious would be that like bone often, unless they've just boiled the bejesus out of it, you'll often see the striations in bone of the uh, words.
The bone.
Words.
Yeah.
Something to do with blood.
Are you talking about where like the marrow, like the?
Yeah, you just see like I don't know, somebody in here with a brain.
I don't know what you're
Like
trying to say.
Because mine's not working.
Bone can only be but so big. Also, I feel like ivory could be bigger. Pieces could be bigger out of ivory. Because like I guess the animal shin bones are what they typically use to make bigger things out of bone. Bone also smells gross, in my opinion. Newer bone, at least.
What kind of stuff are you playing with?
Well, jewelry you can buy jewelry findings and pendants and things still made out of bone, and to mimic ivory, and it does not. It smells. It's got a funky
honey,
smell.
I'm not playing with new bones. Like,
how often are you smelling new bones? I just explained, Alicia. I have some new pendants and jewelry type findings and things that are made to look like ivory. But they're okay. All right.
No, I'm not, and half of me is like I have a lot of sewing tools made out of bone, and now I'm just like, should I just like grab them all up in a pile and like
I am going to bring a bone pendant to a seminar and make you guys smell it.
Yeah, I don't want to smell your stinky bones. I'm like, what's
All
wrong
right,
with you?
let's move along.
Okay, I just want to make it clear that you rang this bell, okay? Not anyone else. Um, yeah, Robin, the striations, but they're like from blood or I'm having a total brain fart here.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sorry for
you
bringing it
started.
up.
Yeah, you started that.
Oh, look at those gloves, those little crocheted or knitted gloves. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
you know what? They look itchy. Like, they just look really itchy to me. Mm-mm.
But I think like Victorian era, those were very popular. Like
And
late
itchy.
late 19th century. Those are. I tried
Yeah.
to convince a friend of mine is a very, very speedy and very good crocheter. And at one point, when I was doing a lot of historical costuming, and I wanted to make this kind of in Gettysburg, they do this widow's mourning thing. And I thought it would be cool to make a dress like what you're seeing in the picture, perhaps, with, and then have some of those gloves. And so I asked her, and I found a free pattern. I think that was probably out of Godey's or Weldon's or something. And I was like, hey, could you crochet these for me? And she was like, oh, hell no. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she was like, you made me smell your new bones.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I can't wait to pull that clip out of here. So, this there's apparently a reenactment that happens that's what this photo is from.
Okay.
And
Look at the little girl's dress. So cute.
Yeah, so this was it's Austin Strong leading the Main Street Fate Parade, 1923. These are the clothes, and that's him wearing this.
Oh, okay.
I do think I have another picture that shows that picture more, but I gotta tell you, what bugged me is they're covering up this stinking quilt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is that a quilt behind them?
It is a quilt.
Because it looks really interesting. There's sort
Yeah,
of.
and why is there crap in front of it? Why is there crap in front of it? So this is an applique quilt with Nantucket scenes, 1959 to 61. Francis Fenton. Cotton. Francis Fenton commemorated 300 years of Nantucket history in this applique quilt, which features distinctive local flora and fauna, buildings, people, and events. The block at the center represents proprietors' purchase of land rights from Thomas Mayhew. In 1659, the quilt took Fenton 20 months of full-time work to complete and was purchased for $700 by a group of her friends who donated it directly to the Nantucket Historical Association.
20 months of full-time work for $700. Wow.
Yeah, so
but what a cool quilt! Oh my gosh, look at it!
So cool. So you should have seen me kind of like leaning into this like thing.
You're like, get these costumes out of the way!
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just like, God, of all the quilts in here, why on earth would you cover up?
Yeah, why couldn't they have put like just something ordinary
money
back there?
I will mention something in a minute, but yeah, this applique is so cool.
And is that a sunbonnet Sue? It's a sunbonnet. It's a sunbonnet lady. She's not really a sunbonnet Sue.
Yeah, and all these fishies and a house, multiple houses, and you covered it up.
What a neat quilt.
Mm-hmm. It is a very, very neat quilt. And like each corner at the top has
oh yeah, there's a compass.
Compasses. And then we got like boats over here and
so I'm wondering if she drew all these things herself or worked with somebody that drew them. I mean, because this looks like it was, these look like illustrations.
Yep, all different flowers and stuff.
Yeah, Alicia says not enough money, and the whales. I too am like, the whales! Those are
Yeah,
so
that
cute.
is some Moby Dick whaling stuff, man.
I have to say I love a whale.
Mhm. Yeah, I love a whale too. Yeah, so you can see that photo a little bit better.
And so the reenactment, that was in the 20s?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay.
Mm-hmm. I forget if she said they still do it today. I feel like she said they did. I feel like she said that they did.
Well, I think I mean, those outfits are pretty, they seem accurate, like period accurate to me. So they did a good job. I mean, for the 20s. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that was a time when people were kind of, they took a lot of liberties with history, you know? In the
Well,
60s, they took a lot
hold
of
on.
liberties with
Those
history.
dress, but that clothing might be original. Let's see here. And they just wore it again.
Perhaps.
Historical revival dress and shawl. Worn to the Main Street feet, mid to late century. Okay. So then they made them then. Boom, boom, boom. Mm. Okay.
Oh.
Quaker. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Quaker clothes. We've
I
got
didn't realize that there was like a Quaker contingent. I mean, I know there are Quakers all over New England, all the way up into Maine, but
I didn't know either.
yeah, it just didn't occur to me that this would be an area.
Mm-hmm.
No, Quakers by the
And
beach.
apparently, again, if I'm remembering correctly, this group ended up on Nantucket because they didn't like how some things were being done in another sect somewhere.
Gotcha.
So they became their own. Let's see. So this one is Society of Friends, formed a large part of Nantucket's population in the 18th and early 19th centuries. They wore plain, simple clothing. And this, we've got day dress owned by Sarah Coffin Atkin, 1840s, and then Quaker dress 1830s, this brown one.
Wasn't there wasn't there somebody with the last name Coffin that did one of those
Mm-hmm.
samplers?
Yep. Mm-hmm. This dress is so pretty. We always think that everyone wore ugly, like drab, boring things sometimes if you weren't high class. And that's just not true. It is just not true. There are some very pretty things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, oh, yeah, I had to take this like close up because this fabric was just really pretty. And I also feel like I've seen it in a quote somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like I could see you know, one of the fabric companies like you know, like Waverly or something like that knocking this off for drapery or upholstery.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And her little
Alicia wants a skirt out of it.
yeah, see? Yeah, it's pretty. And it's in like just fantastic condition. It looks like it was
Yeah,
never worn.
I'm just trying to look at this top here and see
see what?
If it was if it's a pinned situation or if it's hooks and eyes under there. It's hard to tell.
Oh. Yeah, I got nothing for you. Detail here, back at this one. Like,
Yeah,
look at all that.
yeah, that's some serious cartridge pleating there. Oh, and the bonnets.
And I feel like that is a portrait of, let's see, Quaker bonnets. Miniature. Oh, so there you go. Yeah, miniature portrait of Sarah Coffin
Sarah
Atkin.
Coffin.
Hmm?
So she must have been. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know Quakers were plain. Could they be wealthy? I mean, were they like? They weren't like a poverty type of. You know, I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I'm guessing what I'm trying to say is she was a woman of means if she had a portrait done of herself in the 1820s or 18. Was she born in 1820 or?
Well, and I also feel like our guide told us she also left Quakers at a certain point. That one
Okay,
just said,
some Quakers were insanely wealthy. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
right?
Yeah, I really don't know a whole lot about Quakerism. I mean, still, they're still Quakers. You know, it's still a religion.
Mm-hmm. And see here we get
Yeah,
into like
modern stuff.
modern stuff. Yeah, so I was just like, we don't need to.
You know, I just realized the dress, the pretty dress. There's like a very little like gathering or little ruffle on the cuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, there is. Oh, I did get a close up of her. She was cute. Close up of bonnetness. Do you wish we still wore bonnets?
A little bit. Some days my hair
what's
is
stopping you?
you know, when you guys see me walking around in my t-shirts, in my sweatpants with pockets tied on and a bonnet, you guys are going to know it's time for Stephanie to be put in a place. But yes, I'm all about a bonnet and tie on pockets.
Hmm. Yeah, so see more of the modern, because there is still like there's a Nantucket looms on the island still. It was open, but like I guess on certain days you can go and see the women like making stuff, but they weren't there.
Oh, this.
And then of course there was this. This was probably one of the like pièces de résistance.
Yes.
This was bananas.
So, one of our colleagues in quilt history, Lynn Bassett, has done a lot of research on all these different quilted petticoats. And I know she has tracked down, I don't know how many, it's 4 or 6, or it's a small number of them that she has been making the connections like that they were, I don't know, made by the same people or owned by the same people or something. But they look like this, very similar to this, you know, quilted with animals and mermaids and all kinds of cool stuff. And from a whaling or a seafaring community, I don't want to say it was a whaling community, but somewhere there in New England, where she's tracked these down, and they are just amazing. Janet Borcher said, yeah, I think Ben Franklin, my sister-in-law, was raised Quaker in Eastern Canada, yeah. Robin says the apocalypse will be near when Cake starts wearing bonnets. Yes. See, I haven't started wearing a bonnet. Like, all of that stuff about, you know, the rapture. You know, it's not rapture time. I'm not wearing bonnets yet. But yes, the good old Quakers. But
here's a different angle that shows you how blue.
Yeah, this
like,
is
the other
just
picture doesn't
beautiful.
pick up the blue.
And this is probably like never worn.
I want to say it was for a wedding. Do I have a thingy? Wow. No, hold on. Hold.
I mean, that is silk.
Okay, hold on. Is it this back here?
It is a
gorgeous blue, this is a wedding. Yeah, it's a wedding. This was worn for a wedding dress. So Elizabeth Ramsdell wore an open dress of copper-colored silk over this intricately hand-quilted blue silk petticoat when she married Levi Starbuck in 1793. She was the 5th bride in the family to wear the skirt, her mother and other ancestors having worn it before. The skirt was passed down in the family until it was donated to the Nantucket Historical Association.
So this must have been wear it for the wedding only, and then very carefully put it away until the next lady gets married.
Yeah. So
although it does look like there's some discoloration right there on the little spot there.
Yeah, there's right here. But yeah, let's say maybe 10 people, you know, wore it. It was, you know, 1700s. But yeah, it was definitely like the most amazing thing.
Yeah, I just look at those and imagine, like, of course, if it was just a quilt, you know, you would still be like, oh my God, look at this. But to walk around with that on your body, you know, and it's just, and you know what silk sounds like, you know, like that, it kind of like around your waist would kind of make a swishy noise because of the you know, it's.
Yeah, there's a name for that.
The rustle, the swish.
Yeah, there's a name for it.
Yes, I feel like I've heard it, that somebody had talked about that recently.
I heard it recently.
Yes.
Scrooping or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what it is? It's something. I know that you and I both, it had to have been when you and I were together because we, yeah.
Yeah, somebody, Robin, look it up. I feel like it was like scooping. Because well, it was our friend Katie who said it at another event that we went to in Plymouth this year. And I was like, what is that? And that's when she said it. I was like, swish wasn't good enough? Like,
But I feel like so this viney kind of stuff. I mean, this reminds me of. I mean, we were reading the Maine Quilts book. There was the diagrams that Lori LaBar and Lynn Bassett had done in that book, and that's what this very much reminds me of.
Yeah, yeah, screw. Yeah.
Screw. Okay.
Oh my God, I can't believe I
See,
remembered.
that's the thing though. Swish sounds like silk. Scroop does not.
Yeah, I guess it's like, well, that's the sound.
Okay.
Okay. So then this was just a simple quilt in the back of something. I couldn't even get close to it. Not even like they had like a bunch of like they had another quilt here sitting right here. Couldn't even get close. It's a postage stamp quilt.
That's a cool quilt. So, Marianne had to step away. So no, it wasn't Trapunto. It's just a silk quilted petticoat. So no Trapunto.
I don't. So but I think it's like the way that silk. Well, actually, you know what? Hold, because this could be cording here.
It could be. But I would guess. My guess is there is no stuffing in that.
No, I feel like silk, no matter what, always looks like.
Yes, silk is a beautiful. So that kind of silk, like a Dupioni. It's just an even weave, very glossy, very pretty. I have several rolls of Dupioni I bought 10 or 15 years ago, and I've used it in a lot of projects because it is just a joy to sew on. And I have made some small quilted things with it, and you can get really tiny intricate stitches, and any of the unquilted areas will kind of pop like that. So I wish I could have some very large pieces of silk and just make myself like a queen sized coverlet, and it'll be light and use silk batting. Oh.
That just reminds me of a boyfriend I had 100 years ago that insisted at one point that he was going to buy sateen sheets. And I was like, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. I wish I don't even think we had cell phones with video back then. But I wish I could have taken a video because like we go to bed that night and he gets into bed
and like zips all the way across and falls out of bed.
I was just thinking like to have something close to me to like
I would imagine.
So like if this is like the pillow, right? He like goes and he like puts his head on the pillow and the pillow goes whoop like right out from under him, and then like he like went to move and he's trying to get back to the pillow, but like he can't move in the bed, so he's just like swimming in place on the sateen sheets. And I was like, I told you so.
Like a dog on linoleum.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Marianne said she had nothing but trouble with Dupioni. Oh, because hers wasn't silk.
Well, I mean, Dupioni is, I'm trying to remember is it Dupioni, is it because of the even weave it's called that, or if it's
I am not the person.
The threads going one way and the threads going the other way are slightly different colors. So you've got like a color change. Anything that is silky, whether it's real silk or imitation silk, is a nightmare to sew. If you sew on a machine or try to make garments, like that kind of thing, but if it's just a flat piece and you've basted it very well, it really is hand sewing it. I feel like it's the... Okay, so LJ's saying Dupioni is the weave. Okay. Yeah, so it's that even weave. Ravel. Yes, ma'am. It does ravel.
I did just notice here that it looks like we might have some Centennial green.
When you pulled it up, I did not notice that because you sent me that picture for our thumbnail, our YouTube thumbnail. But I was wondering, I was like, is that Centennial or is it the color in the, the camera color is...
No, it looks like it might be. I mean, at least this one looks like it. Like, this one looks a little darker. This one looks like the lighter.
But I'm wondering if it's the lighting in the camera. You know,
I
is it?
mean, it could be. I just because I don't remember. I'm trying to think if I noticed that
Yeah.
while I was there. And you really like you could not get close to it. Like it's probably a good 3 feet away,
Yeah.
which
Well,
was a stinker.
Stephanie has long arms and will sometimes like reach in with the phone and set alarms off.
Yeah, because you know what? Because someone like you that was there before dropped their phone inside the display. Yeah.
Oh my god. You know, that's why I have my phone has like I use pop sockets. I have a pop socket. I will never take a picture that it isn't like well attached to my hand because I'm terrified of that. Like dropping my phone into like a display or over the edge of something into the water or a cliff or something. Moving along. This is fun.
Yeah, this is inside a case. Obviously, it's super freaking old. But what's interesting is like this is clearly like letters
Yeah, I have
that
something
someone
like this.
cut up.
And are there like maybe playing cards or something? Like, look, there's a clubs and looks like
Yeah,
diamonds.
yeah, well, yeah, looks like that.
Wow.
It was gonna be whatever the hell you had, because you can tell like some of this paper. See, this is all crinkled. It hasn't held up well at all. Like this one's all crinkled, and you can see all the basting stitches on it.
Yeah, I
So
have
this
some
one,
fragments that I've been wanting to study to see exactly like what the papers say.
yeah, Miss EPP Queen here. So this kind of basting, was she sewing through the paper?
Yeah.
Ah,
And back then, so I always, and I have taught some English paper piecing in addition to teaching you. And the reason I always teach a way that you only do the corners of the fabric on the back, whereas this method, because they were using recycled paper, letters and things like this, you know, it's just like computer weight paper. It's not very heavy. I mean, it's rag paper probably, but it's flexible. It's bendy, so it makes sense to stitch all the way through. But today, a lot of people use cardstock, which does it's a yeah, it's not fun to stitch through that. So I'm always like, stop looking at the old ones and doing it the same way, because that's one time where the old way is definitely not better.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And then we had some
Ooh.
print pieces here for quilting motifs.
Those are like stamps?
They're like ugh.
Yeah. They're blocks.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen a quilting design on a block like that.
I haven't either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. And I'm
But
wondering
yeah, it was talking about putting like a chalk on it.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. Did they have some kind of chalk that they would rub like?
Yeah, that's what I had
Yeah.
wondered too when we were going through. I was like, how's it gonna
Yeah, and they look, I mean the one there in the center, you can see the carve marks. It looks like. So, how cool.
Mm-hmm. And then this,
Oh,
I
fancy
do have,
sewing table.
yeah, I've got a couple of photos here from other parts of the museum, which I have more of, but again, I kept those out. This was a sewing table from China that was incredible. If you see me like just be taken away by a ghost in a minute, like just you know, like the door opened creepily and it like really kind of freaked me out. Yeah, so like this one's like almost like totally complete and everything, which is
Wow.
really rare to find.
So I'm wondering if this was one that just like, I don't know, imported and never purchased or never used.
Well,
or...
I'm gonna. I mean, I do have a placard, but my first
Okay.
guess would be it just got imported, and because Nantucket is such a small insular society, that it was cared for and stayed in a family. You know, so we've got 1855 wood, lacquer, ivory, silk. This beautiful sewing table was brought from China by Captain Henry Coleman of New York on the ship, whatever that is, Hukwa.
Haokwa?
Named for the merchant leader of Chinese trade with the West. It was likely a gift for his wife, Elizabeth E. Coleman. Note her initials, EEC, on the underside of the lid. and then Gift of Mary Hoadley. But yeah, that's gonna be my guess is that, So we were talking about ivory
Wow.
earlier.
Yeah, and look
And
at all those little
so
accoutrements in there.
so notice how white these are.
Yeah, okay.
So that's often like one thing for me at least is you tend to be looking at things that are a lot whiter than bone
Okay.
tends to be.
So bone
Unless
bone has
you've
got that.
boiled the crap out of it.
Right, okay.
And most of the time not. Like bone's still gonna have those striations in it. It must be like from the iron. Forget.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um and yeah, ivory is usually often white, 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 white. Like it
Gotcha.
almost
Okay.
looks
So that's
fake,
one that
because it's
must be
so.
one important way that okay. Because bone does
And
take on that.
yeah, bone looks. It's got like a graying
A
effect to it.
patina. Yeah, it's almost a yellowy gray patina that yeah.
This still has like the sewing bag on it too, which
You know,
often
I've
on these
always
old
seen those and
tables
like
comes off.
where does that like where is there a hole in
So,
the like
so, so I sometimes it's a drawer right here.
Mhm.
Sometimes.
Okay.
It doesn't look like that's the case here. So what probably happens is this whole big piece comes out.
Lifts up.
Yeah. And then you get to it from the bottom.
Interesting. What a
Mhm.
cool thing. I mean, and
Mhm.
gorgeous. Just beautiful.
And then here we have a sewing
Ah.
machine.
Mhm.
Like this is a pretty tiny one. Wheeler and
Oh, it's a Wheeler
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, 1855. This is the first sewing machine on Nantucket. It costs $120. That's a lot. And was owned in shares by multiple women.
That's
That's
so
a lot.
interesting. I see the name Coffin and I see Starbuck. So those
Mhm.
must have been names there, families that lived on the island.
Mhm.
Wow.
And then the museum has a rooftop deck
Very
that you can
cool.
get on. So I just got up there and just took a little pan. It was beautiful. It was in the sun and it was a little warm. And that is the end of our adventure.
Well, that was a very cool trip. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
we we had lots of disparaging things to say because of how expensive it is to stay out there and
Oh
to
my
just take
goodness.
the and you guys stayed
We stayed
like
in
inland.
Plymouth.
Right.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
stayed in Plymouth the night before, which again, this was off season and it
And you
was
still
yeah,
cha-ching.
yeah.
So Janet's
It was
asking if that was a widow walk when you were up there, or is it just like a deck or
it's a deck. I don't know. I don't know otherwise, but we're not done yet. We got one more thing.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we?
We do. So, as Stephanie and I often like to do when we're traveling, I got a couple little goodies at the gift shop for a little giveaway. And what I got here is, oh my God, if I
I
could
don't
hold
even
it.
know what it is. She hasn't told me.
No, you don't. So I got this cute little pan with a whale,
How cute.
and on the other side there says Nantucket. This was an impulse purchase at the desk, and yeah, the whale like moves inside. Yeah, it's one of those pens where the whale moves, and he's a cutie.
Does the whale
Um,
keep his clothes on?
yeah. And then I got like this like cutie little Nantucket pin.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's the Nantucket seal. I put that on our
Mhm.
thumbnail.
Was I just showing it like upside down?
No,
I
it
might
was
have.
right. It was the right way up.
It was? Okay,
Mhm.
I wasn't sure. And then I got a couple of postcards in the gift shop because that's often where you can get really amazing
Yeah.
photographs of things.
Ooh.
So we got that. And then so you can actually see that whole quilt.
Oh, cool. So they have a postcard of it. Awesome.
Yeah, you have a postcard of it. And then another postcard had a close up
I love
of
it.
some of the stuff. Yeah, the whaley stuff and whatnot. So
What a fun
the
little
rules,
batch of trinkets.
yeah, little cutesy trinkets. So the rules for this giveaway, since they change all the time, I am going to make a post on social media that will have the thumbnail of this video on it, directing people to come see this stream. If you are on, I can only do it on Instagram because our Facebook group is private, so you can't tag people in there. So if you go to it on Instagram and you tag someone who's not following us, who's not a subscriber, who's not a member to our group or anything like that, to help us get some new blood in here, tag somebody there. If you're not on Instagram, the other thing you can do is once we're done with the live stream here and this video posts just to our YouTube, come back and make a comment on it. Any comment you want, just don't say like dirty things. And also make sure that you're subscribed.
Yes, subscribe, make sure you're subscribed.
YouTube. And we will do the drawing for this next Tuesday on the 7th.
And just as an aside, there are sometimes some cool quilt nerding stickers that get involved in giveaways. So
that's true too.
Yeah,
that's true too. There's always cutesy little things going on here, but it's also just nice to know that, like, when we're out and we're places and we're doing things, we're always thinking of our friends.
Yeah, and we have we did a I say you, I think because you had the items, but we did a giveaway. Was it in April when we were out in Nebraska? We did
two.
Yeah, we went to the IQM and picked up some little goodies. So
you guys should have seen us running around there. Like, Stephanie's like, I think I'm going to get this for our peeps. And I was like, oh yeah, I should get some stuff too. And we're running around this because they had a pretty, they didn't have a tiny gift shop. It wasn't.
Yeah, they had a decent gift shop. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were running around like, how about this? And we could do this. And then we had so much stuff. We were like, well, wait, we could do like 2 giveaways. And because we couldn't decide. And yeah. Yeah. So that, and then also I'll obviously update the description here if you just like forget what the rules are and stuff. But if you guys could help us out and share with your friends and tell them about us, because sadly, if we don't grow, we'll have to pull the plug at some point because it's not making us a living.
Well, and we don't necessarily expect it to make us a living, but
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I would say if it could at least pay for the travel that we do, that would be a big help.
Yeah. And I mean, while we're here rattling the cup, if you're not interested in giveaways, etc., you can always buy us a coffee, and the buy us a coffee link is always in all of our descriptions. So.
Mm-hmm. And we do actually have, you can even, I know we're not at the point of having a subscriber level yet, but you can become kind of a subscriber through Buy Me a Coffee. You can set that up so that it's a recurring. We have one person that does that.
We have one person that loves us that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is willing to funnel their funds into a monthly thing for us.
Well, and you know what? Right now, that the monthly funds that they give us covers some advertising. So that's one way to help grow things.
Yeah. So, but just being here is also an absolute gift to us. So we thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, I hope you guys liked it. There is another exhibit. A friend of ours took photos for us at an exhibit in Chicago a couple of months ago, and has given me the zip and sent a giveaway.
Oh gosh, that's right. David took. Yep. Yes, we have that one too. We also have pictures from the Bamfa show, which I have not even looked at them in detail. Another quilt nerd sent them to us, and yeah, we need to look at those and share them.
So in your backlog.
Yeah.
Where's the backlog?
We should do it. We could do a 24-hour stream one night and probably still not get through it all.
Okay, you guys, you didn't hear that. She's crazy. Although, I don't know, maybe something for New Year's Eve would be fun. Maybe not 24 hours, but
a long one, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. Yes,
Thanks,
always
Robin.
Make sure you're giving us a like and a thumbs up and a share, and make sure that you're subscribed.
All the things. All the things.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go have a snack now.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna finish dinner. I had a late lunch, so I didn't eat before.
That's what happened to me. Like I was eating and I was like, I want more, but I need to leave. And also I keep picking away at all this crap I have to get done before you go to seminar. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody.
Well, thanks, guys. We will see you soon. Hope to, well, definitely next Tuesday, but hope to see you on my stream as well on Thursday.
Woohoo!
2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Woohoo!
Cake TV
Woohoo!
on Twitch.
Yeah. And by the way, because we have a new person that joined us tonight, you might want to put your Twitch in the chat when we go off here onto our bye-bye screen.
I will. Alrighty.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.